And that's the thing, I just gotta trust that it works and come into it fully aggressive. The more aggressive that I hit it, the better it works. That's like the ideal way to ride it, is go a bit slower, pop it, hip it. Look where I landed. Safety third.
Alive again.
Today, I'm out here at Sharknado testing out the final big feature. I'm out here today on the final speed gap of Sharknado. This is the last big sender, and yeah, it looks pretty scary. As always, the first time I come out somewhere and I'm trying something for the first time, I'm pretty nervous. This one definitely looks long though, and what's gnarly about it is the jump into it is not that far away, so I really am hoping that the speeds are going to be dialed for me. And everything on Sharknado is now finally rebuilt and ready to go to invite more people out here to ride with me. I finally got it done, so I'm pretty excited about that. The shark fin at the very top, the third hit on the line, got rebuilt for the second time, and I did that months ago and let it sit through the winter. Finally tested it a few days ago. I couldn't wait to do a vlog. I just had to get out here and try it out. I was really curious. And the first couple hits went really well. I don't know the exact distance on this thing, but it's quite low and long. The takeoff is only like a little over waist high. It's pretty short radius, not very steep. I actually mellowed out the takeoff a little bit because it looked a little too kicky to me for how long of a jump this is. And the jump itself, I would say that gap is at least 30 to 35 feet long, and that's just like eyeballing it. I don't know for sure, but it's definitely quite long. Like, I got to make it all the way down to here, and no matter what side of the jump I'm on, the landing or the lip, it looks far. It looks like a real reach. And that's not the gnarliest thing about this jump though. The gnarliest thing about it is the landing zone here. It's really narrow. It's not even like a bike width wide. And then it's quite short. It's like maybe 2 bike lengths long. It goes into a berm right away. There's a big tree on the rider's right, and then a bunch of bushes and a hole on the rider's left. So you're really gonna have to snipe it. Nothing really quite lines up. So if I'm standing where I am here, that is the center of the takeoff, which is like the very far corner of this landing. So I'll basically have to hip transfer it and try to land in this pocket, catch a little more transition, and line myself up for that corner. I'll be going pretty fast, so hopefully that corner doesn't completely blow apart on me. Well, I'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how this rolls. It's a gnarly hit, and it's a really sick way to end the trail off. So we're gonna start the video off up there. I'm gonna session the shark fin, get warmed up, and then we're gonna come back down to this thing and hopefully clean it first try. It's looking really scary, but really sick, and I think it's gonna go. Here's the shark fin, the third hit on the trail, and that's the warm up for the day. This was a scary feature a few days ago. First time hitting it. Didn't really have the muscle memory, hadn't rode in a while, but it goes really well. The shark fin is way bigger than ever. So the first time I built it, it was probably only half this height. And then I rebuilt it, made it a lot more outside than it is now. It would point towards that little tree a lot more. And I found the problem was it would shoot me to the outside edge of the landing. So the lineup was really difficult. What I did is I just kept stacking it up. So now we have this giant, massive fin that looks really cool, and the lineup's pretty nice. It's a little more outside than the original feature, so my muscle memory can't be the same. I have to adjust the way I ride it a little bit. Not only because it's higher, but the lineup's a little different. I got that fallen over tree in the gap that I have to just kind of block out of my mind, because even when I'm going lower off the lip, like you can see in the tire marks down here, I'm still clearing that tree no problem. And that's the thing, I just gotta trust that it works and come into it fully aggressive. The more aggressive that I hit it, the better it works. So I'm just gonna warm up on this, start feeling really good, get in the zone for sending it, and then we'll head back to the very bottom of the trail and clean that last feature. So let's hike up there. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm ready. Okay, warming up. Drop! Whoa! Lineup's good. Gotta crank that table harder. That's so much better than the first rebuild. Successful finally. Okay, let's do that a few more times. Love this one here. Nice step down. Pump, go outside. Little break. There we go. Still not hitting this one. Needs a rebuild. Just gotta get a nicer table on that, then I'll feel warmed up. This slide never gets old. It's always so much fun. And the step down into the stump gap needs a lot of cleaning up still. I did rake out some of the lining for the step down though, so if I can get the shark fin feeling really nice, maybe I'll just try to flow all the way down to the stump gap on this lap. It'll still go, just the lip's a bit rough right now. Okay, first step down, quick it out, set up for the shark fin, table, oh yeah, and step down. Whoa! Oh yeah, oh, there's a tree down. Oh yeah, that was sick. Okay, I'm feeling warmed up now. That was sick. Let's get down to the bottom and test some new scary stuff out. Here's how the bottom looks from my perspective. So we have this little step down here. I'm just gonna start on that stump back there, or on that little fallen over tree. Nice slow run in, then you pop, and it does aim you pretty far rider's right. So you gotta turn a little left off it. Kind of a flat landing, but nice and long, lots of speed. And then that speed gap, you really gotta push through and commit to it. And then it gives you tons of speed. So hopefully that sets me up really well for the next final hit. Gonna take a run in this time and then see how it feels. Okay, drop. Okay, to the left a little, there we go. Speed. Coming to that fast. Okay. It's scary, but I think it's gonna go. I mean, it should go.
A lot of dirt to crash into too if you do not.
Yeah. Yeah. That final lip comes at you really fast, and I don't really know where to start, how to approach this. I'm trying to be very tactical and safe about this. What I'm gonna do right now, I don't know how accurate it is, but I'm gonna walk the gap of this one and then walk the gap of the final jump, kind of compare the size. The lips are a little different. The final one's poppier, so in theory you should be able to hit it a little slow with the same amount of distance needed to clear. But I just want to like really scan it, look at it, have a fresh mindset on it before I go up for another run in. Yeah, I mean, pretty comparable distance. This one's definitely a bit shorter. It's really low and long, so you're just like floating over the ground barely. Yeah, there's at least a full bike length of extra gap on this, plus more pop. There's nothing simple about judging the speed for this one. It's just gonna be kind of use my judgment, ride by feel, and trust my instinct on this one. If I hit the jump completely straight, this is my line right here. And there's not a lot of landing, but it gives me quite a bit of room before that tree down there to slow down and line myself up. Landing deep would be pretty bad though. It'd be really hard to control where I'm going. And then for the next approach, if I hip it and end up over here, that's like the ideal way to ride it, is go a bit slower, pop it, hip it. Then I don't need quite as much speed to clear it. And then I'm gonna land here, and this has the most amount of landing I need and run out and the most room for error, but I have to really attack that takeoff perfectly, which is really tough to do on the first attempt. So I'm pretty nervous either way. I'm just gonna have to feel out the run-in, and then if I feel like I can set myself up perfectly on the run-in, just commit to it and trust the speed is there, because it's relatively predictable. Still hard to figure out, but knowing how chill that second last jump felt, I'm not feeling overly worried about this one now. The reason I have to use all this sketchy freeride science is because I built the landing way too small, but there also isn't much room for a bigger landing. If this jump had a big landing zone, it would be so easy. It'd be such a chill hit. So technical though with that snipe zone to land in. Okay, feel the flow, focus on the landing zone. And zip up your pockets. Okay, drop. To the left. Oh my God, that was deep. I thought I was going slow. I was like, oh, this isn't bad. Look where I landed. Oh. Safety third.
Alive again. You almost went right into that tree.
Yeah. The good news is I survived and I went faster than I needed to, thinking I was going a little slow. The bad news is it's still really hard to line up, and I'm genuinely scared for anyone else who tries this jump. So I might change it up, but we're gonna hit it a few more times now that I know how it works, and I'll go a little more chill and I'll hip it a bit harder. And that's it, it works. Not quite sure what I'm going to do about this jump right now. Do I put a ton of work into making this landing wider and safer? Or do I just make the lineup way safer and keep the gap where it is, but put the lip in a completely different spot? I'm not really sure yet, so I'm going to hit this a few more times and see how it feels going a bit slower, really trying to line myself up perfectly in the center. And if it still feels like pretty off and it's like shooting me too far out, then I'll completely reconsider how I'm building this. But yeah, still don't really know. Need a few more test runs to really figure it out. The trail speed that it naturally wants to give you is so much faster than how I'm actually hitting it that I do still want to change it to make it safer. I just don't know how I want to do that yet, but we'll definitely hit this a few more times because it's so fun. That's so fun. Okay, so that's a wrap for test day. Successful, got a little sketchy, survived. I don't know if that went better than I expected, but it went. So, you know, it's good to go. I know the jump works now. I know how to ride it safely now. That's the most important thing. The only issue is it's not a very safe jump in general for anyone to ride. And I would like to make this trail still very advanced, still very like pro level, but safer to hit. And I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet. Am I gonna build up the landing? Am I gonna change up the lip? I've yet to decide, so I'm gonna sit and think on it, but I'm just stoked that this worked out. And Sharknado has one new big feature to finally put a final stamp on the trail and wrap it up. So we're gonna finish off the video with some riding out here, session a few of the trails out here, and then call it a day. Whew. Oh, nice chunky line up here. Oh, that's fun. And there's another line up here. Check this out. I came down about halfway there and did that tight corner, but there's actually a line from the very, very top here. And it's pretty technical, definitely gnarlier than it looks. You have a really hard time controlling your speed. Here it is. So you drop it off to the very top there. There's also a little huck to flat before. So you're like skidding on the brakes, and then you gotta let off the brakes right before this little compression here. You kind of front wheel float down, pop again, and this tree, this tree right here gets real tight. It's pretty gnarly, definitely gnarlier than it looks on the GoPro, but I did it the other day, so I'll show you that clip right now. Pretty sick, hey? I'm hoping to find way more natural lines like that out here. I mean, this whole zone, if you look at the shelf behind me, there is sick rock banks everywhere. So I have a lot more scoping to do this year. That's just a taste of some of the more gnarly, raw, natural lines I'm on the lookout for this season. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want some GoPro tips and advice, I want you to go check out the link in my description here. Join that group folder, upload your content. I'll give you my feedback and I'll feature your clips at the end of my next videos. Okay, thanks so much everyone. See you in the next video. Later.